It's still the 16th of May, 2026, and I'm gonna talk about corruption because I've noticed, and I know this is on repeat, I've noticed the views are getting bad. I'm getting fewer subscribers, less comments on my videos, and people are giving up because people don't want to listen to conspiracy and alternative stuff. But there is corruption in the world. Even cases that has been solved, there's corruption and mistakes and faults in. And people don't want to go there because they're fed up with conspiracies and alternative news or articles or books or movies or whatever. They're fed up with it. That's why it's not easy to get the message out. Corruption is real. Conspiracy is a made up word. Conspiracy is corruption because many conspiracies and alternative knowledge is there so many misinformation and mistakes in. So what to believe in? Do you believe in mainstream or do you believe in alternative? There's also mistakes in mainstream. So I will say all this mainstream and alternative is corruption. There's no conspiracy. There's no alternative. It's false. It's corruption. The whole thing is corruption, corruption, and corruption. And I would like to show you this in another video. People, men, women, girls, dudes, guys, whatever. They're saying again and again and again, Denmark is the country with less corruption in the world. They are number one in the world. I think those that make the statics, they are corrupted. How can they figure that out? There's so many mistakes. There's so many. The system fails system all over, widespread in Denmark, and they say Denmark is the most country with less corruption. I don't get it. I don't really get it because I can say this on repeat again and again and again and again, and there's so much corruption. There's so many solved cases that there's so many mistakes and system failure in it. What about the legalization of weed? What happened? They talk about it for 50 years now. What happened? Nothing happened? Was it 60 years? No? What happened? 100% legalization. I know you're allowed to have some kind, you're allowed to have some on you, but how many is it called grams? How many? The gram på dansk, I don't know what they call it in English. How many ounces? I can't remember how many ounces you're allowed to have, but there's a control mechanism here. You're allowed to have, but we need to legalize it 100% so you can smoke it everywhere, It's a fucking plant. I know this is on repeat. Legalization of hash and weed, the private fireworks. What happened? Nothing. They talked about it for a century, a decade. What happened? Nothing. It's still there. You can still buy it between Christmas and New Year in the shops on these white tents. No. What happened? People get killed. They die of it. People ruin their hands and eyes and stuff like that. What happened? Corruption, money, corruption. That's the same with the hash and weed market. Money, corruption. What happened? What about house shares and group homes? They're cutting back on the service. What about that? What is the Danish politicians doing about that? Nothing. They're cutting it back. What about in elderly homes? They're cutting it back. What about all these apps we need for information about where you live and what your job is, and it's called Citizen DK, and then there's MitID. All these information. Why does the government or the politician need all these informations? I don't get it. Why do they need it? Corruption, corruption, no conspiracy, no alternative. Corruption. What about the lawyers? When they have a case in the court system, they get more money or payouts, and they don't write it down for taxes. What about that? Do they talk about that? No, they don't. No, they don't. They get off. No, they don't talk about that. That's corruption. What about the court system itself? All these cases with so many mistakes in them and fewer conspiracy. There is some unsolved cases. There is conspiracy, but I'm going back from conspiracy and talking about corruption. We need to talk more of corruption. The more we talk about corruption, people be aware, awake, real aware, because people are satisfied, they're in a comfort zone, they are happy what they have, so people are not doing anything about anything. It's corruption, not conspiracy, and that's what the system wants us to believe. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're insane. You're living in your mom and dad's basement. You're a psycho. You're a outcast. No. It's corruption. It's corruption all over it. So the Danish court system, some people get off, some have shorter sentences, some don't even get a sentence, some get too long prison sentence. I mean, the court system is so insane, and nobody's doing anything about anything because it's corruption in the Danish court system and the fucking police, and no one is doing anything about it. It's corruption, no conspiracy, no alternative stuff. It's corruption. And people don't want to talk about it because we have been fed with conspiracies since 1980, the same year we Fight the Future. Same year. So what is it? Is it 25, 30 years almost? We've been fed with it, and people are fed with these lies, corruption, distractions. I mean, that's why it's not easy to say anything to. People are hopeless. They are stuck in this conspiracy. They're stuck in mainstream. People don't want to let themselves go. They have too much ego. They have too much pride. TikTok ruins society with shorter videos. Their expansion level is low. The concentration is very bad. I mean, I know it's on repeat. I'm just saying again and again. Corruption, concentration. People are lazy. They're stubborn. It's nothing to do about conspiracy. Nothing. There's mistakes. There's system failures. And I don't know what you call it. Manipulation. distraction. They're confusing. Many stories could be real, and they're putting confusing in it, so we can't find the real truth. Corruption, 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 corruption. What about the politicians in our government? How come they're allowed to do what they want? They get pension for being down in the EU. They get pension for being in the parliament. They get pension for being a minister. I mean, what the fuck? Corruption, corruption, corruption. Even their kids are getting pension because they've been a minister. What the fuck? Corruption, 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 corruption. Denmark is the less country with less corruption in the whole world, and the most the most corrupted country. Do you know what that is? Sudan in Africa. I don't believe that either. It's bullshit. These statistics are completely false, completely fake and phony and baloney. Corruption, corruption, corruption. Is there more stories? The court system, lawyers, these apps on our phones or even PCs, the fireworks and the hash and weed, and the cutting back on the service on group homes or house shares and elderly homes and politician and their salary and all of that. What about access to documents? 75 years? There has to be 75 years because when you're allowed to show, look upon access to documents to media cases. Wow, that's corruption. Or even autopsies, 75 years. Doctor journals, 75 years. Wow, what a great system. I love it. There's so little corruption, huh? I've just mentioned 10 cases where there's corruption in it. Oh my God, and people are so satisfied. They're Jesus bitches, all of them. My God. You can only look access at it. I'm talking about cases that have been in media. I'm not talking about cases with you and me, normal citizens. I mean, of course, there has to be some kind of a rule system, but they have to regulate it so everybody can get access to the cases that in a history or media or whatever. No, 75 years. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, great. I'm trying to think about there's more corruption. Yeah, if there's more, I'm gonna make a part two, but this is the last one. But if you are hired in the police, or you are a firefighter, or you are a pharmacist, or a nurse, or a doctor, or a paramedics, or whatever, and you make a mistake and you do literally murder, is it called literally, or you kill someone in your work, for instance, the police in the line of duty, or even paramedics or nurses, you get a shorter sentence, or you don't even get convicted. Wow, because people have what do you call it? CEOs and group of people who are in a, you know, and they don't judge each other and they hold their hand on each other, and you know what I mean. I can't find the word for English. Bestyrelser is called in Danish. I don't know what the expression is in English. But people, it's Illuminati without the Illuminati, you know. The police have it, and the firefighters have it, and nurses have it. Some kind of secrecy. It's not, what do you call it? It's not, it's societies without the secret, but they still have some kind of corruption because they're, they're allowed, they have access to do what they want to do because they have license to kill, Even journalists have it. I mean, that's corruption, right? That's corruption. They could do what they want. They have lower sentence, and some of them don't even get convicted. I mean, that's totally insane and corruption, and nobody is doing anything about it because it's money, it's money. It's all about the money. It's all about the money, right? Corruption, corruption, corruption. What a great system. What a great world we're living in. Oh my God. And people are not worried about them. Worry about it. They worried about themselves. They worry about their own rent for the apartment, food on the table, and getting clothes on their body. They don't worry about corruption. In our society, in our world, they just keep going and going, going. People are afraid and afraid and afraid to step out of the box. They just want to be a part of something. An illusion. I don't think there is more corruption for now. And if there's more, I'm going to make a part 2, a part 3, a part 4, a part 5, whatever.